The 7 Learning Secrets. Have you ever heard of the 7 learning secrets? All the great minds of the world, such as Einstein and Benjamin Franklin, were aware of these secrets and practiced them. When you learn and apply the 7 learning secrets, you will become more successful in school, and your learning will start to become a lot more fun and interesting. Here's what they are and how they work. The 7 learning secrets. 1. Ask questions. 2. Restate what you learned in your own words. 3. Give examples of it. 4. Make connections between it and what you already know. 5. Apply it to a real-life situation. 6. Teach it to someone else. 7. Talk about it. Now let's look at the 7 learning secrets one at a time. One. Ask questions. Asking questions during class will trigger your mind to begin the process of learning. If you don't have the opportunity to ask questions in class, write your questions down in your notebook. You can ask after class for the answers. Having your good questions written down and preserved in your notebook is always a good idea. You can use them later to help you prepare for a test. Simply review your written questions before an exam and make sure you can answer them. This will help structure your knowledge and will help you to do a better job answering essay questions. Two. Restate it in your own words. This is a powerful technique used by the greatest learners and communicators. For example, if your teacher is explaining the concept of gravity and tells the class that gravity gives weight to objects with mass, causing them to descend to the ground, you will learn the concept better if you explain it to yourself in your own words. When you do this, your brain interprets the data in a way that makes sense to you simply. You might explain gravity like this. Gravity makes weighted objects fall to the ground. Three. Give examples of it. Making up examples for yourself of things you learn in class makes the information real and meaningful to you. It also makes what you learned easier to remember. If you can remember the example, you usually can remember the information it was meant to demonstrate. Four. Making connections between it and what you already know. When you make a connection with new information to something you already know, it makes the new information easier to grab hold of. It's like adding a new piece to a puzzle. With every piece, the picture grows clearer. When you learn something and it reminds you of something else, take note. Pay attention to that connection your mind made, and remember it. That will help you also remember the new information. Five. Apply it to a real-life situation. Applying something new that you learned to a real-life situation is another way to truly own knowledge. It's part of active learning. Instead of just reading about gravity in class, you and your friends could conduct experiments by dropping different objects, some heavy, some light, from a high location, and watching to see which ones make it to the ground first. Or do they all arrive at the same time? Applying information to real-life situations helps you to make sense of it by involving your 5 senses: hearing, sight, touch, smell, and taste. Six. Teach it to someone. The great philosopher Aristotle said, "Teaching is the highest art of understanding." What he meant was that the very best way to assimilate knowledge is to teach or explain what you learn to someone else. Often, in doing so, you'll find that it's harder to explain than you expected. This is because the information is not yet solid in your memory or understanding. Go back to the source of your information, review it, and try explaining it again. This time you'll find it easier. An excellent way to study is to explain concepts from class to a friend, and let the friend explain concepts back. This will help you identify any information you and your friend may need to study further. Seven, talk about it. Researchers at prestigious Stanford University conducted several experiments about learning. They found that young people retained information longer and understood complex concepts better when they discussed them with a group of friends. Talking about what you learn with friends and family helps your brain process and retain new information. If you apply the 7 learning secrets in your life, school will become much more fun. Your grades will rise, and you'll start to really understand and appreciate what you're learning. Listen to these secrets again and again until you know them by heart. Let's go over them one more time. 1. Ask questions. 2. Restate what you learned in your own words. 3. Give examples of it. 4. Make connections between it and what you already know. 5. Apply it to a real-life situation. 6. Teach it to someone else. 7. Talk about it.